Welcome back to Gopher's Workshop. I'm your host, Aaron. And joining me, as always, is my fellow host, Chris.
That was kind of slow. Did you forget who I was?
I did. I forgot everything. Hey, new year, new me.
I apparently a new me too. I don't remember who I am. It's fine.
You're not important.
Don't I know
Your
it?
name's not important. Well, anyway, Chris, it's New Year, which means new things, right?
Yes. So last week we talked about some of the new data sheets. There was actually some sneaky data sheets that came in too, because there's the new Sisters unit that isn't released yet and doesn't even have a release date. But that's cool stuff we can go over sometime. This week, though, I promised we'd go over new detachments. There are 6 new detachments. This is going to be the whole episode. There's a lot to go over. Short answer is we got 3 Space Marines. And by 3 Space Marines, I mean 2 Space Marines and 1 Ultramarine. And then we got 3 Necrons. Pretty good, but also... While everyone's excited about new shiny thing, I get to start by shitting on it. It turns out I've already heard from people, why do Space Marines get everything? And why do Space Marines got more stuff? And if you want to complain about Ultramarines, you know what? I'll totally join you. I just feel like there's too many blueberries. Fucking somebody thin that shit out. But the reality is, do these things count? Well, some of it, I'm going to argue, doesn't count, because if it's bad, I don't care they gave me a new detachment. I'm not playing that shit.
You're right.
It doesn't really count. It's just like when we got the Imperial Fist detachment. It's like, yeah, you got a new detachment, hooray, but also it's like, it's still not, never mind. It didn't really count. So, we'll start off with Space Marines, and then we'll move on to Necrons. First detachment, drop pod detachment. I mean, orbital assault force. Its rule is kind of 2-part, but the first one is, depending on the size of the battle, strike force is 3. You can select up to 3 Astartes units, and they gain the deep strike ability. So you can just give a thing deep strike that doesn't have deep strike. First off, pretty good. Happy. Each time in these models makes an attack, if it was set up on the battlefield this turn, re-roll wound rolls of 1. If it disembarked from a drop pod, re-roll hit rolls of 1 as well. Okay, first off, super glad they put them in this order, right? Space Marines already have a mountain of re-roll to hit. They also, because of twin links and stuff, they also have a reasonable amount of re-roll to wound, but they have way more re-roll to hit because their main ability is Oath, right? All right, cool. I'm glad that we got the reroll 1s to wound first, because that feels way more relevant than if drop pod reroll 1s to hit. Okay, cool. Again, is that relevant? Not if I'm shooting at the Oath target.
Yeah.
So it's a nice to have. Everyone lost their mind about, drop pods are relevant again, and drop pods are great. And I'm not going to necessarily disagree. They have a place, and I think they're decent. In people talking about this detachment, I immediately got to tell them about, I did in-depth, analysis of drop pod. What's good in drop pod? I can already give you that answer. And that was before we had this attachment. Now it's better. But also, the drop pods are a nice to have. They're not actually, mandatory. Because, again, reroll 1s to hit is way less relevant than the fact that you're getting reroll 1s to wound to begin with. We already have plenty of reroll to hit. So, there are some pretty sweet enhancements. I like where we're going. It's funny because some of them directly contradict the detachment. That's fun. One is you get to reroll charges if you're set up on the battlefield this turn. First off, auto-include. 9-inch charges suck. Take a free reroll charge. Do it now.
Do the thing.
Yeah. Then you have funny ones, like you can give the Bears unit Scout 6. First off, in any other detachment, I'd say this is pretty fucking awesome. Still, it's pretty awesome here too. Also, it means you effectively don't have a detachment rule. Ha. All right. Unfortunate.
That's not true. Scout 6 aggressors. Turn 1.
You're right. And then what's your detachment rule? Well, you gave them deep strike and didn't use it? Okay, that feels good. You get to reroll nothing because you weren't set up on the battlefield. Also sucks. Like,
yeah, but I couldn't put them in drop pods anyway. So.
You're right. Now, there is some discussion that we can have here, though, because it says set up on the battlefield. Note, it doesn't say from reserves. So, arguably, while all of this is themed as coming in from deep strike and coming out of drop pods and reserves, you could get the rerolls to wound by disembarking from a transport. You could argue that this is actually like a Rhino Impulsor Land Raider detachment. And if you do that, arguably this whole thing makes way more sense. Now Scout doesn't feel bad because I could dedicate a transport at Scout 6 up and then disembark and charge out. Like, pretty good. Pretty good. So that's the actual secret tech to this. If you read this at first glance, this detachment is butt-tastic. Don't do it. If we get really in depth and it's that one line of set up on the battlefield, says nothing about reserves, this whole detachment makes way more sense and becomes more playable. Yes, it feels kind of more awkward because it's very themed as reserves, and you're basically choosing to do a minimal amount of that. But we've seen that before. Again, the example is Necrons. They're the best example for a lot of things. But Hypercrypt was the competitive answer for months on months. And like 4 out of 6 strats had to do with a monolith. And no one played a monolith. Like, you don't have to use the whole detachment to its maximum efficiency to arguably be good. As much as that's true, this detachment is fun and interesting. And if you use it for its, let's say, unintended purpose, I think it could be surprisingly efficient. But the surprising part means that while it like could be competitive, you are putting in a lot of effort just to get it to the competitive realm. I don't know that it's actually good. That's how I feel about it. There are some like decent strats. There are other enhancements that, you know, aren't terrible. Specifically, and this is, okay, so one of our guys loves to meme, all right? We all acknowledge this isn't good. He knows it's not good. One of the enhancements effectively lets you select up to 3 Astartes units and redeploy them. Second line, same enhancement. You may put them into reserves regardless of the reserve cap. So, in theory, you could have like damn near the whole list in reserves on turn 1. This is a terrible idea. It's beyond not good. It's asking to lose. But the fact that you could look at your opponent and basically say like, oh, half of my list is in reserves. Okay, cool. After we finish deploying, I'm going to take 3 units out of the other half of my list. And they could be points heavy, by the way. You could take 3 other units, put them into reserves. Well, now I've got like a unit of infiltrators and like 1 blade guard left on the field. That's my whole list for turn 1. Is your opponent surprised, confused, maybe even a little concerned because they don't know what the hell's going on? Yes.
Definitely the last one.
Do they have literally anything to be concerned about because you only get to play 4 turns and they get to play 5? You're right. They're winning. So, again, detachment is fun. Detachment could be competitive if you really tried hard, but we're talking barely competitive. This detachment is a nice to have because why not take the free thing? Is it like actually, oh, they got a new shiny thing. It's new, but it's like a polished turd. I don't know. It's actually shiny. It's like shiny is a loose term here. It's just new.
I'm even trying to like go through the factions and be like, oh, maybe you play a Blood Angel. Maybe you play a White Scar. Maybe you... Nope. The answer is just nope. Just nope.
For the most part, you go drop pod heavy. You go like the fact that this detachment doesn't have limits to other factions. You could make a strong argument to a bunch of them. A personal opinion, I think the correct answer is probably Iron Hands.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this is like, again, good, but also off the top of my head, giving a Redemptor Dreadnought Deep Strike actually seems really powerful. It comes in, it has a good amount of shooting, which means even if I fail my charge, I don't necessarily feel bad. Also, if I do make my charge, I had good shooting and I have decent melee. All upside. Then on top of that, he's got like a defensive buff that makes him tougher. Okay, so now if I fail my charge or make my charge, either way, I am very exposed probably because I deep struck, which means my opponent kind of got to choose where I land. So I'm probably not using cover effectively. Well, at least I'm tougher, so like maybe I'll survive another turn and get another round of shooting. Again, I think Iron Hands could be pretty solid here. I don't mind giving, a 10 brick of heavy intercessors or aggressors with feel no pain because of Father Phyros. Like, again, all of this could be good, but we're like really trying to eke out some extra stuff here because it's not easy. All right. We'll move on to the next one. So we got 5 more to go through. Then we have the Bastion Task Force. This is the Battle Line Detachment. I would like to start by saying they got me. I was tricked. I was goofed. I got so freaking excited about this detachment because as I was reading through, I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. I love it. It's so good. And then I started trying to build lists with it, and I realized how, I don't want to say useless, how mediocre this detachment actually is. Anyway, now that I've ruined it for everybody, let me give you some information. Astartes battle line units gain 2 abilities. They are eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which they advanced or fell back. Powerful.
Woof.
Love it. And are eligible to perform an action in a turn in which they advanced and fell back. Utility out the yang. Love it. So we're going to spam some battle line. Feels good. In addition, battle line units, when they resolve attacks, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks until the end of the turn. Again, powerful. That enemy is considered Auspex scanned. Each time an Astartes unit makes an attack that targets an Auspex scanned unit, reroll hit rolls of 1. Okay, first off, we already went over Space Marine have a ton of hit rerolls, and it's only rerolls of 1. I'm not saying this is super powerful. However, it could be really efficient. The fact that I could take assault intercessors, I'm going to advance. I'm going to shoot my pistols that don't need to do shit at that unit. All I have to do is hit. Now I can take my big guns in the backfield, re-roll 1s to hit, so my Vindicator gets to totally fuck that thing up. And then my assault intercessors still get to charge and kill that other unit. This detachment could be incredible. Now, after we get past all the shiny, we have to take a step back and look at reality. It turns out, amongst all the battle line units for Space Marines, you know what all of them, except for assault intercessors, have? The assault keyword. So advancing and shooting isn't real. Okay, advancing and doing actions. The action still prevents you from shooting or charging later. Still good, but again, turns off the other half of the detachment. Arguably the other 2/3 of the detachment, because then they can't shoot at a thing to give rerolls. Not ideal, but still good utility, not necessarily upset about it. So then the advance and charge. Okay, well, again, we're looking at assault intercessors. They don't have assault on their pistols. They do want to charge. Holy cow, are assault intercessors just the most spammable thing you've ever seen in a detachment. What about the rest of my options? Well, the rest of the options suck the big one in combat. So the advance and charge is irrelevant to them. Wait,
half
hold
the
on.
detachment is useless.
No, it's worse than that. If we look at everything other than assault intercessors, that means they already have assault. They suck in combat, which means the entire detachment doesn't apply, basically, to almost all of the battle line. So this detachment doesn't say battle line. This detachment says assault intercessors. God damn it. Okay, there's got to be an exception here, right? And there is. There's two. There's two exceptions. What factions in Space Marines, sub-factions, have additional specialized battle line units? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. You get to play this detachment for Death Watch, because now you can give the veteran kill teams advance charge without having to pay the tax for a Watchmaster, which means you could put other characters in there. Hello, Judy. Or you could just not pay the tax and make the whole unit 90, 100 points cheaper, doing effectively the same thing. That's pretty freaking good. Is there a better option? There is. There's one more. This detachment is, I think, almost entirely designed for, because we both know GW forgot about Death Watch, they always do, was entirely designed for Black Templar.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Hell yeah. And now that we're playing Black Templar in this detachment, I don't care that it says Space Marines, it's actually only Black Templar. Now this detachment shines like gold. I am so telling you, this detachment is impressive. I don't care that Black Templar got their own detachments. If I was a Black Templar player, fuck that whole codex. We're playing this thing. This is amazing.
The minute you were describing this, everything about it was like, this is Black Templar. This is 100%
so
Black Templar.
Good. But again, I get to be a little grumpy only because this says Adeptus Astartes. And after we squint our eyes and take a real good look, no, it says Black Templar. It doesn't say Adeptus Astartes. If anyone plays this other than Black Templar, and let's say maybe Death Watch, I don't know why they're playing it. It's such a waste. But those two factions, hell yeah. This is amazing. All right, cool. I'm on board. I can't, again, let me start by saying this is impressive. Now let me read you the first two enhancements. I mean, I should read you all of them because they're actually really good, but the first two, hilarious. First one, ranged weapons equipped by the bearer and battle line models in the bearer's unit. So everybody gain precision. Hell yeah. You want to see
model.
heavy intercessors stand on a point and say, because I'm here, I'm really fucking hard to shift. Also, you see these actually scary guns that have precision. It turns out a 10 brick of, arguably even a 5 brick, but let's say a 10 brick of heavy intercessors on an objective. I don't know how to shift them easily. And the fact that if they can see a character, that character's dead. Like, sure, there's like, okay, the character's got lone op, they're not allowed to shoot. Sure, I get it. This character's like, we call it a character, it's actually a monster by itself. Okay, well, they're not designed for that. You have a leader model, that kind of character.
Period.
No, it's dead. Like,
and the worst part is they don't even have to dedicate all the shots. Just like you said, a 5-man squad's enough.
5-man squad for your average character, absolutely enough. Well, you've got like a Gravis captain who's like having damage. Okay, you know what? You're right. I need the 10 brick. But that doesn't mean I can't do it with a single unit, no problem. Still definitely can. And that doesn't even include the fact that, like, what character are you putting in there? Well, we're talking about Gravis here, but you could go even to like regular intercessors. And now they're 1 damage instead of 2, and they're strength 4 instead of 5. But you know what? I get double the number of shots. You want me to volume of dice literally anyone into oblivion? I could just do it. I just could. Why not?
And you can add lethal hits. And you can add...
Yeah, absolutely. So help me if that character model is the 55 points cheapest chips lieutenant. So now, not only do I have precision and lethal, but on top of that, what are you going to do? Charge me? I guess I'll just fall back and shoot anyway. Like, and he's only 55 points. Anyway, all right. Let me go on to the next one. All right, we have limited ourselves to battle line units, right? Oh, that seems like a real restriction. This sucks. Well, second enhancement says give this the Astartes model the bearer while the bearer is leading a unit. The bearer has the battle line keyword. Well, you're telling me I can give any unit that can have a leader battle line? So now,
ooh.
You thought Judy and Blade Guard were a problem with their 4-up invul and like 3 wounds apiece and their fights first, so you can't really charge them.
Now give them advanced charge.
Advance in charge, fallback in charge.
For free?
For free. It's okay, it's an enhancement. It's not technically free. Also, I'll pay 15 points for that. You got it. Absolutely. And that's just talking those. So help me, you want to, again, you decide you want to do some dumb shit, right? You decide, I love Terminators. I don't care if they're bad. All right. Well, you know what a Terminator captain does? Reroll charges for free and a strat for free. And the detachment can make them battle line now. So now they're getting free advance and charge. You're making arguably mediocre units hella impressive real fast. That's amazing. You want to give advance and charge to aggressors? Excuse me, advance shoot and charge. Get wrecked. Like,
you mean I don't have to take flamethrowers anymore?
It's so good. Again, I don't want to go through this whole thing.
I think that was
enough.
This
thing is crazy. Again, the third enhancement, because the first two were awesome. Astartes models improve the AP characteristics of weapons equipped by the bearer and battle line models in the bearer's unit by 1. You can just decide to have AP2 bolters. You can just decide I have AP2 chainswords on assault intercessors. Again, we're talking about Black Templar. You want your Crusader squad to get +1 AP just because you said so? Done. So help me, you could wombo combo certain units with a captain and a lieutenant. So now you could take a unit, give them the battle line keyword, and then improve. I'm not saying you should do that. That's bad. Don't do that. The battle line is already good enough. Split these up. But this detachment is amazing. Sure, it's restricted to 2 sub, but it's not worth it, right? What do you have that's battle line?
It's not.
You get to spam assault intercessors, and then some of these amazing things, like the fact that you can give precision to your battle line, it feels way less relevant.
Yep.
Because you feel way more obligated to spam assault intercessors. Even if you did spam assault intercessors, you're still talking about the fact that if you were playing Blood Angels, you don't have access to the Crusader squad. You don't have access to the Vanguard vets, which have a better mixed bag of weapons that have better utility.
You're right. But see, the thing is, I want to play it because AP1 on some Blood Angels units sounds pretty great.
So it's, again, this detachment is amazing. You just have to take your little Sharpie and be like, Black Templar and Death Watch. That's what it says. It doesn't say Astartes. It says these 2 sub-factions.
You're right. You can make it work. We can make anything work. But the thing is, do I want to put that much time and effort into it? Also, is there not a better choice? That's what it comes down to.
And if you're Black Templar, I'm going to argue no. If you're anybody else, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me rephrase. If you're Death Watch, maybe. I'm not saying yes. I'm saying maybe. If you are anyone besides Black Templar and Death Watch, the answer is yes, there is. Don't do it. Anywho. All right. So speaking of restrictive or sub-faction specific detachments, we got our last Space Marine one. This is the Titus detachment. It is Ultramarine specific, but it's the Titus detachment. Okay, so a couple of abilities. First one is melee attacks that target an enemy on an objective have an extra AP. So as long as they're on an objective, melee attacks specifically gain a bonus AP. Again, Assault Intercessors, great example. Feels really good. The fact that it's restricted to not only melee, but on top of that, it has to be on an objective. Maybe that's too restrictive, but before we pass judgment on that, second ability. Each time an attack targets an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army, if your unit is in range of an objective marker that you control, I kind of hate that part. At the start of the phase, another restriction. And if the strength characteristic of the attack is greater than your toughness, subtract 1 from the wound roll. Or if your unit includes Titus, subtract 1 from the wound roll. So let me rephrase this big paragraph. You have Wrath of the Rock. You are -1 to wound if their strength is higher than your toughness. Objectively good. But there are 2 restrictions. Either Titus has to be in the unit. If he is, you get that all the time.
Yep.
All right, decent. The other restriction is if Titus isn't in the unit, you have to not only be on an objective at the start of the phase, but you also have to control it. As a Marine, we have fairly low OC. I'm not saying you can't do that, but I'm saying, like, you better be playing Assault Intercessors. You need the 2 OC. You need the volume of model. You're playing Blade Guard. I don't care that you're on an objective. You're probably not at OC in them. There is an upside here, and the upside is arguably that it just says Astartes unit. It doesn't say infantry or mounted like Wrath of the Rock. So, in theory, again, I could take Redemptors. I could take Brutalis, and I could totally put my Redemptor on the objective. I could sit there. I could be extra tough. And by the time you actually have good tank busting, I don't care, it's -1 to wound. This could be really impressive. But again, remember, you're a Marine. So you had to be on the objective at the start. And in order to control it with your very low OC, again, you're a vehicle, so arguably it's not 1, it's like 3, right? But you're still, you better hope someone else is actually holding it for you, because 3 is not enough to cut it.
Now I can see that this is not a bad detachment in my opinion.
No, it is not bad.
It is
restrictive. It is weird. It's going to take some practice.
Yes, and that's my thing.
It's not necessarily bad.
It's going to take some practice, but I honestly see this being a swarm the point kind of style of play.
Yeah, and if unlike, let's say, normal Marine lists, if you are not overly aggressive, like if you're not trying to push into the deployment zone and I'm going to go fight this thing regardless of where it's at, if you build your list with the idea from the get-go, I'm going to move up to the mid-board objectives, and my goal is to just churn the middle.
Yep.
Even if they're a gunline, Votan Tau, something, like they don't come and meet me on the objective, I'm just going to stand there and be extra tough. That means I'm playing extra Blade Guard units. I'm playing extra Redemptors. Like, you can build with this in mind, and it can totally work.
Yep.
But you have to, like, from the get-go, I have not added a single unit. I have to know my job is to stand on points. That is the priority.
Yep. You're
Titus
taking
and
aggressors,
boys,
you're taking Centurions, you're taking...
Titus and boys can run off and do whatever they want. But everything else in the list besides Titus, stand on point, stand there. I don't leave just because I could go kill something. No, I stand there and score points.
Yeah, you're taking crowd control and heavy, like bikes might even be a good one in this list.
Sure.
Because you can out OC a person. Also, you can effectively make it where they can't even touch the point. And you're the weird numbers of wounds and toughness.
Bikes aren't bad. Again, I think Blade Guard and Redemptor are the 2 primaries. But here's what I think the secret take is. If you thought about spamming heavy intercessors, this is the detachment. Okay. Not only are you reasonably tough,
Mm-hmm.
but also you have like an extra wounds per model. Your ability says while you're holding an objective, damage 1 gets reduced AP. Like, again, I want to stand on a point. I want to get some shooting because I'm not necessarily melee oriented, so I'm still maximizing my damage potential. But then I become extra hard to shift off that objective. Redemptors and heavy intercessors, I think, are the way to go in this detachment.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I got to decide that from the get-go. I know I'm playing this detachment. That's like the first unit I add is like Titus, decide what's going with Titus, add heavy intercessors, add probably a second unit of heavy intercessors, add 2 redemptors. Now I get to start building the list.
Yep.
That's what's happening. But again, this could be really good. I actually like this detachment a lot, so long as I'm not saying, well, this is my list, I'm willing to make some adjustments. What detachment should I use? You can't do that here. It doesn't work. But if you're like, this is the detachment I'm using, I've decided that first. Now I'm going to build around this. You could totally make this good.
Mm-hmm.
There is one drawback to this detachment. It doesn't have armor of contempt.
Oh, so you're a space wolf. I understand.
You're right. And I don't mind that because I've been playing Wolves and haven't had access to it in quite a while. So I'm willing to say that's fine because, again, you do have other good strats in here.
Go to
Like
ground.
you still have
Yeah.
6, but, well, no, I'm saying like not even the generic ones. I'm saying you still have 6 strats. It's not like
yeah.
you just get one less. But again, I think this is really solid. I did want to talk about one strat, and I'm going to say this because I'm not entirely sure how it's supposed to work.
What? Okay, now I gotta hear it.
No,
Tio
okay.
says it's broken.
Well, and I'm not saying it's broken good. I'm saying it leaves room for interpretation,
Mhm.
and that's a problem. Because I could rule how this works, and I'm almost certain, like I am like 99.9% certain I know how this is supposed to work, the intent. But the way it's worded, there is room for argument.
And you
that's
should never
why-
have room for argument with these things.
Not in a strat where we have like, when can you use it? What's the
Yeah.
target? What's the, like, we have so many like qualifiers. If anything is clear, this should be the thing that's clear. So the one enhancement that the one stratagem that I think is in question is marching ever on. So when your opponent's movement phase just after an enemy unit fell back, target one Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that was within engagement range of that enemy unit at the start of the phase. So basically, it's the thing you fell back from.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, we're clear
Still
so far.
so far, yeah.
Then we go to the effect. Your unit can make a normal move up to d6 plus 1 inches. If you know the rules, this is still relatively clear because normal move is an indicator that you cannot re-engage. So you
Yeah.
get to, like, again, you could go forward and scream. You could go backwards into a building. So you fell back from me so that you could shoot me up. Well, I'm going to go into that building now. Now you can't see me. Haha. Like, again, this could be really good, and it is
Mhm.
really good. Here's the one thing I think they missed. It doesn't clarify whether or not you can do this stratagem if you are still engaged by a second unit. It says you get to make a normal move. Does that mean that the answer is no, because you would have to do a fallback move and that's different? Or because we are in my opponent's turn and we are specifically targeting them legally with a strat that says they make a normal move, does that just mean when they move, they must be unengaged at the end of the move because that's the restriction on normal move? Again, almost 100% certain the answer is you are not allowed to do this if you're engaged by a second one because you would be obligated to a fallback action, not a normal move.
Yeah.
But technically, it doesn't prevent you from targeting that unit. And because it's out of phase and all this other stuff, like there's an argument to be made of like, no, but as long as I end the normal move outside of engagement range, I'm still a legal target. Maybe I could. I think that's going to be argued by some people. As much as that's true, I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. I think you have to be unengaged when you target them.
It's the only thing that makes sense because there's so many qualifiers to that particular aspect of the game. I mean, moving period has so many more rules than anything else.
Yeah. So again, I'm not saying that it's technically unclear. I am saying that it is missing basically like half a sentence that would prevent any arguing, which means there's going to be arguing.
And this isn't to say that it's poor rules writing. It's to say that we can't get them all.
It's fine. Again, I'm not even upset about it because again, I would argue strong argument from GW's perspective is like, no, but it doesn't say fall back. It says normal move. That should be clear enough.
That should be a clear indicator. You're right.
But again, we're talking about like out of phase. It's still a legal target. In theory, like, I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying that it's like, it is technically arguable. So someone like me has to go like deep into the rules and like, okay, but if we read fallback, it says like when you're engaged, normal doesn't mention that you're engaged. So can you actually, like, again, I'm not saying that you should be allowed to. I'm just saying it is arguable.
Yep.
And
somebody's going to argue it.
I would love for them to add 4 more words to the target and just clear it all up.
Unless you are engaged. Anyway, so what we got next?
So that is the last of our Space Marine detachments.
Ooh.
Again, these are, I'm going to argue, fairly restrictive because one is Ultramarine specifically. One is, I'm arguing, Black Templar specific. And then one is real bad. So
it was real bad.
Did Space Marines get things? Absolutely. Are they shiny? Sort of. Are they new? Sure. But again, shiny is the part that's in question. So I'm glad that they got some of this because, again, like Titus, the whole 500 Worlds is based around him. These are 500 Worlds detachments.
Yep.
Absolutely him getting a detachment, I'm fine with.
Yep.
Yes, it's another Ultramarine thing. Do they need more? Absolutely not.
No.
But for the campaign, I'm totally fine with this.
It'll be somebody else's turn to shine in 11th edition.
Yep. It's fine. I'm not actually bothered by it.
Yeah.
The only thing that, again, bothers me is like, again, you have some people who don't have their time in the limelight right this second who are kind of upset and complaining about, oh, Marines got another thing. And when are, the Votan going to get something? Or when are the Nids going to get something? It's like, well, Nids, you were the main bad guy at the beginning of the edition. You got a bunch of stuff. You had a giant range refresh on top of a bunch of new models.
You're right.
Whatever. Anyway.
So everybody complains when it's not their time in the limelight.
Yeah, it's fine. We got to let them have their time. Ultramarines are getting an extra good limelight, but this is their time. Just let them have it.
Right. Well, then, on that note, I think this is the perfect time for us to go to mid-break. And when we come back, we talk about some Necrons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, it's the middle of the episode.
That's true.
You know what we do in the middle of the episode?
I do.
What's the first thing we do?
Patreon.
You fail me so many. I loved it back in the day. Patreons. You fucking
Patreons? That's not even a word.
Patrons.
Listen, you're very excitable.
I am.
I have
that.
to be not excitable so that collectively we're having a regular conversation by average.
False, sir. False. Well, anyway, we have to thank our patrons. You ready?
Yes.
So we have to thank our guardsman patron, Sergeant Matt's Manny Manit. No, don't you know?
Why What part of Sergeant, Matt, or Mini Minute sounded
Minnesotan?
Yes.
You didn't. It made it happen. Well, you're welcome. Anyway, moving on to our White Shield Guardsman patron, Mitch. Also, Nicodemus. Nico. And Taburus. These are our White Shield Guardsman patrons.
Very good.
Very good. And then our Servo Skull patrons, Captain Beefalo, Dez, and Renee. Thank you to our patrons, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do goofy shit.
You're right. I would have to poo-poo even more at this fund. Which, to be fair, I'm on board to do, but we got patrons, so.
They love this. They signed up for this shit. You know that, right?
You're right, which is exactly why I have to let you get away with it.
You know what else they signed up for? I'm going to tell you today. You know what? It's been a while since we've been informed. It's been a while since we've talked about our patrons and what they get. So, in addition to our lovely thank yous, because, you know, they let me do funny things I think are funny. That's all that matters. Our White Shield Guardsmen get early access to episodes and exclusive voting power. So soon we're actually going to have episodes that they can vote for.
And we kind of already do that with like their comments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, we have in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do a second interview episode because people asked for that. So they kind of already doing that via comments, not necessarily like polls. But at some point, especially with 11th edition rolling around, we're going to have some polls of like, all right, we got a lot of stuff to cover. What do you want us to cover first? Or, you know, is there things we haven't covered that you really want us to touch on? That sort of thing. And
it's been, because we're so late in 10th edition, there's been a real thing of us trying to catch up, and like we've had codexes thrown at us, so we're like, oh, we got to talk about codexes. So it hasn't been really an opportunity for us to go in and go, all right, we're going to do a poll, figure out what you guys want to talk about. But now that we're coming to the end and the beginning of a new edition, those polls will be rapidly and just thrown at you. So get ready for those polls. In addition, so we're moving on to the Guardsmen. So Guardsmen patron get all of these lovely things, and they get one list review per month. So they could be sending you a list, Chris.
Yeah.
You could be reviewing this list and telling them, I have recommendations. Or, why did you choose to do the thing? So, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a free coaching?
Yes, effectively. Like I'm helping with list building, and some of it is, you know, if they have a question, I'm here to answer it. Like, hey, this is my list. I'm struggling against knights. How do I, you know, correct that? Or I'm struggling with action economy for secondaries. Like, I can help answer the questions that they're struggling to answer themselves. The opposite is also true. They can just supply a list and they're like, hey, I'm fairly comfortable with it. You know, do you have any suggestions that might make it more competitive, or, you know, do like cool tricks or whatever? So I can kind of ask them questions and be like, hey, have you thought about this? What would you think about this? Have you tested this? But yeah, it's basically, I'm going to help, for lack of a better term, coach, but help refine one of your lists. And it's per month. So whether it's because there's constantly new detachments coming out, so we kind of jump around, or whether it's just like, hey, I have never touched this detachment and I'm not sure that it's good. Here's what I came up with. How do we make this thing that I've never played before not feel like garbage out of the gate? And, you know, like get to a point to where like it feels more comfortable, and then I can refine it and things like that.
So in addition to that, we're going to move on to our next one, Commissar. So you get all of these lovely things, plus you get list testing / building. So that means you will not only check out their list, but you'll also help them build lists.
Yes,
in this tier.
I can, and again, this can go one of two ways. I can objectively, they can be like, hey, again, I've never played this detachment. I want to try out this detachment. Can you build me a list for this detachment that makes sense, so I have a good starting point? I can absolutely do that. Other option is I can, again, play test their list. They send me a list and they're like, hey, I'm not sure what's wrong with it, or hey, I know it could be better, but I think it's fine as is. What do you suggest? Well, instead of just like having a conversation, you know, a couple messages, here's what I think. I will objectively play test the list. I will proxy it up. I will find someone who has the models and use their models, and I will test it against other people and be like, hey, I found that this feels like you should be more aggressive with this unit because, you know, it's tougher than you think, or its damage output is crazy. Yes, it's kind of glass cannon, but, you know, be more aggressive here. Or according to, again, our discussions, you may be like, well, I'm usually putting this in reserves, and I may come back and like after playtesting, it feels way more powerful if you just use cover effectively, keep it on the board, don't reserves it.
And at this particular level as well, we also have it where you playtest not only off screen, but there's also a few times where you'll playtest it on screen.
Yeah.
Specifically for our bat reps.
Yep.
So at this level, we're not just helping you, but you actually get to see you testing it out. And this also helps them learn how to test their own lists.
Yeah, because I have a different play style, right? Mm-hmm. So like as I'm playing their list, if I end up saying like, no, this list rocks, and they're over here being like, wow, I'm really struggling with it, I don't understand.
Yep. You can go back and watch the footage.
You can literally watch me play it and be like, oh, he thinks this is good because he's using it in a different way than I am. Or so help me, maybe we get into a weird situation, because I've been here before, of like, I view your list and I'm like, nope, this all makes sense. And then when we go to put it on the board, like my leader is in a different unit than you put it in.
Yep.
And you're like, why'd you do that? And like, then we can have a discussion about that as well.
Yep. The last tier here is the tier that we expect no one to ever throw dollars at.
I appreciate all of you. I'm saying don't do it. He made the thing and he made it ridiculous.
I did. I made it ridiculous. This is the Aaron tier. This is the ridiculous tier. Also, to be fair though, I threw a ridiculous thing in, right?
Sure.
So this is the Inquisitor tier, and it is so godly and inexpensive. You don't do it. Just go buy models. Go buy $1 Servo Skull tier and go buy models. But if you do decide to throw $250 at us because you can,
don't do it.
Don't do it. You get all of the things from previous, and also your name gets added to a random choice pool that at a random time I may randomly pull names out of and go, you get a random thing that I decide to run downstairs and grab.
Yeah, we have a whole shop. The answer is if you are doing this, you get put into a prize drawing of probably just you. So you won. Look at you. And we send you models.
I just wanted to say random a bunch of times.
You are giving us so much money. I feel obligatory not only to offer you the services that we offer, because again, that's what I'm here for, is to help people and teach people. But also, like, you need some product because that's too much.
That's too much.
He made this ridiculous thing, and I'm like, you're not allowed to put that up. He's like, no, but it's not like anyone's actually going to take me seriously. And I'm like, well, on the off chance that someone does, you better be giving them some models for that much.
Listen, I'm experienced, all right? No one pays $250. There's no way.
Anyway, we've already spent too much time talking about a not real thing.
So, at any rate, this is what you're getting for Patreon. And like I said, it's the realistic tiers here. They're really good for what you're getting. Effectively, if you break it all down, you're getting a coaching experience all around. With the bigger tiers, you're getting more and more of a coaching experience. And you've listened to our episode. We've got another episode coming out talking about I guess we interviewed Chris again, but this time we did the down and dirties of your real experiences.
Yes, that's what. Yeah, we've kind of gone over some of the questions so that they make sense. For what you won't believe is that we do some amount of prep work. Anyway,
but yeah,
we haven't actually recorded it yet.
Yep.
But yes, the questions are more relevant to my history and experience, to kind of give you some idea of how I got to where I am, but also to like explain that I'm just not making a bunch of shit up.
I will sit here. Chris, yeah, you're right. I make up all kinds of shit. I will sit here. I've talked to Chris. I've told him, and I've told our team. I don't think anybody realizes what they actually have at their fingertips right now. The access that they have to some of the wildest experience. Just absolutely. I'll stroke his ego.
Nope. I am not.
You can take somebody who knows nothing about the game, and in a matter of a few months, you can take them from I know nothing to I'm scoring 90 to 100 points average a game. Like, I've seen it. I did it.
We have done that. That's true.
You're right. Doesn't mean that that's consistent, but it also, you took somebody who knew nothing, and in a course of 6-7 months, made them actually competitive level.
Yeah, because again, I love to use him as an example, mostly to make him feel good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, we took someone and they went from, I've painted some models, but I've never played, to I think it was like a tiebreaker as to whether or not they made day 2 at Adepticon singles event.
Yes.
And they did that in, I want to say it was 8 months.
That's what I'm saying. 9, it's not just one experience, it's multiple experience. You've done this hands over. Yeah. So having access to this at your fingertips right here, right now, I don't think people realize what they have access to. And I need you to.
I will not to claim that I am a professional 40K player, right? There are plenty of other podcasts and coaching services and this like that claim to, like, I am a professional player. I am like one of the best. That's why you should listen to me. I won't claim that. I am very good at the game, and I am very good at teaching and coaching, so I can help you out a ton.
But it's the
I am
thing
happy
you teach.
to do that.
That's what I'm getting at. It's the thing you teach, which is, I'm going to help you do whatever you want to do the best way you can do it.
Yes, and I do
that's
think,
what's important with 40K.
Yeah,
and that's what I want more people to do.
Kind of different from me compared to some of those other guys, because a lot of them,
they teach the competitive meta.
Wait, it's not only that, but they also kind of teach it in a way that makes you feel like there's a objectively correct answer. Like, oh, you're playing that faction? Well, I'll help you do what you want because that's what you want to do and you're paying me. But also, because again, I've talked with some of those guys, they kind of word things as if they're like, oh, you're playing that? Well, here's the objectively correct answer. You should be playing this.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with that. Again, I think the game, and I've said this many times, the game is way more balanced than we give it credit for.
Yep.
Yes, there are some lists that are easier to play than others, but that's not to say that, like, oh, you're playing World Eaters? Here's the only competitive list that exists. Like, it's been solved. It has not. There are multiple different ways you can play World Eaters or Votan or whatever faction it is you play. And I believe you can be equally competitive with all of them. Some may require more work than others, but you can be equally as competitive with different styles of list. The game, your faction is not solved. That's not real in this game.
With that being said, Chris, you got anything else you want to talk about in the mid-break?
No, I appreciate all of you. We'll have the link to the Patreon in the show notes, as well as a link to our web store so you can get some of your new cool models.
Oh my God, Chris, you didn't tell him. You know what else is for sale on our online store? We made a game.
We did. It's not 40K related. If you want to get into the mind that is the wild and goofy Gophers, we made a little board game.
We did.
1 to 4 players. It is the secret rule is you have to read the cards as you play them. The reason that is the secret rule, because the game becomes hilarious, fun, and goofy. It is I don't want to say old school, but it is a beer and pretzels game. You are meant to laugh. You're meant to not take it seriously and have a good time.
Yep.
It's a ton of fun.
You're right. And I had a blast recording the demo to play, like how to play. It was a blast.
And it's relatively easy to learn.
It is.
We taught you basically the whole game in about 5 minutes. 10 minutes.
It was done. I was okay.
I think you learned the base game in like 5 minutes-ish.
Yeah, and then I learned the advanced games in like the next 5 minutes.
Because it comes with 4 different game modes out of the box. Anyway, super fun and interesting. We appreciate giving it a try. It's relatively cheap for a board game, and then also it supports us a lot because we made it ourselves.
Yep.
But again,
go check it out. Pharmacopoeia. It's on the web store. But yeah, you can also go get your sweet, swanky GW products at 15% off. Go there, check it out, get your stuff. And then we have all kinds of other deals and discounts we're doing all the time on all kinds of things.
Yep.
So whatever your game of choice is, go check it out. We're always doing discounts and deals. But it's links in the show notes. Gophermafia.com. On that note, Chris, now we officially have nothing to talk about. Let's go talk about Necrons. Okay, Chris. It's that Necron time.
We get to start with the old Mr. Robotos.
Ooh.
Okay, so again, we got 3 detachments. One of them is themed to the new guy we're getting, arguably. I'll argue that later.
Okay. Is he new?
Yeah, the Destroyer guy.
Oh, crap. I forgot about him.
He's new.
Listen,
God,
I was obsessed with the Grim Reaper model.
I understand.
I mean,
he's cool.
Nightbringer.
He kind of got a detachment too. That's different. We got stuff to go over. All right. So the first one, we're going to go with the least cool one. Okay. We're just going to get out of the way. It's fine.
Yeet that
the
thing.
Canoptic Conclave.
Gross. Anyway.
It's okay. It's arguably hilariously good into certain metas. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to see this played. Because the European meta, we're playing a bunch of MSU, and it's like mostly infantry with a couple of vehicle support. This is super good. I don't know that it's actually that good, but there's another Cryptek-based detachment that I've been playing quite a bit with, like the whole Power Matrix kind of mini game, and I think it's really good.
There's a stream of you playing it.
There is. And specifically that detachment, it's about re-rolling hits, which in my list basically means fishing for lethals. So you take a bunch of non-tank busting and kind of make it into tank busting. That's pretty good. This is arguably the opposite. This, you get to any unit with a Cryptek model. It's specifically Cryptek models, excuse me. Cryptek models gain the assault keyword, kind of whatever. The second part that's way more relevant is in the shooting phase, each time a Cryptek unit, so it's not just the model, it's Cryptek unit, is selected to shoot. They gain anti-infantry 3+, anti-mounted 4+, assault, heavy, or ignore cover. These are all in or, so you select one. So as it is relevant, you would select anti-mounted. As it is relevant, you would select, ignore cover or whatever. This could be hilariously good. Again, into the European meta where they're playing a bunch of MSU, assault intercessors and regular intercessors. And just to decide, I have anti-infantry 3+, pretty solid, especially because you can play regular warriors where they're spamming strength 4 guns. Anti-mounted 4+, again, into certain metas, I'm not saying it's actually good, into certain metas could be rather powerful because most mounted things have much higher toughness. Now you're, again, spamming strength 4 guns, but you're wounding on 4s against T6 models just because you decided to. Again, you could choose assault. So now you turn 1, you could be very mobile. Turn 2, you're already on the objective. You could decide heavy, so you're just hitting better. Very flexible detachment. However, unlike the Power Matrix detachment, I think it is good against everything except for monsters and vehicles. Whereas generally, Necrons tend to be pretty good against most things anyway, because they have lethals naturally, they have decent AP. Again, if you're using the Illuminar, you have surprisingly good AP. So they kind of already are decent at infantry. This is kind of a piling on of, again, MSU-less. If you know they're running too much infantry, you can just kind of snowball into them and laugh maniacally. But again, I think it struggles into the toughness meta, which tends to be more true on the American side. Anyway, not bad. I think it's meta specific. I don't actually like this detachment. Moving on. Everybody aflurry with discussions about the new Cryptex. Or not Cryptex, Catan. Everything starts with a C. So the Catan detachment, first off, updated data sheets. To clarify from last week, they did update the data sheets of all Catan, not just Nightbringer. So now both the Deceiver and the Void Dragon gained 4 wounds. They gained extra mobility in their movement. They also had the changed damage reduction, so it's no longer half. This also applies to the Transcendent guy. All of them have been updated. Their points reflect that. Pretty good. The detachment itself does a couple of things. First off, all Necron monsters, which is to say Catan, gain an aura. It's a 6-inch aura. Enemy units within that 6-inch aura are called Unraveling. While the enemy unit is unraveling, each time one of your units targets the unraveling unit, you get to increase the AP characteristic by 1. Okay, so first off, this is really good. Especially with the extra mobility that all the Catan gained. The fact that you could stack this with Illuminar, so now you're getting +2 AP to your guns that already had an AP, probably, by the way. You just spam AP3 across the board while paying for AP1. So good. Another part of this is that at the start of each phase, each one of your Necron monsters can make a choice. They can choose to take 3 mortal wounds. They'll still get feel no pain against those. So it's probably 2 on average. If they do, the Disruptor Field aura increases from 6 inches to 9 inches. Again, with that increased mobility, super good. The fact that our faction heals at the beginning of each combat or each command phase, and we have a feel no pain, so when it says 3, it probably doesn't mean 3. This is really good. Then we have a restriction, air quotes, on this detachment, which is say for each Necron monster you take, there is a corresponding enhancement. You are obligated to take this enhancement. And there's a points cost to these. Some of them are not cheap. So, for example, specifically the Nightbringer. If you take the Nightbringer at all, you are obligated to give him this enhancement, which you are allowed to give him even though he's epic, because these are enhancement, not enhancement. They're abilities that you're paying for. The best example here is Nightbringer. His forced enhancement is he is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which he advances. Hell yeah, that's super fucking good. I'm doing that. Take that one. So good.
I'm doing it.
Now, let me give you another example of how some of these are awful. If you take the Deceiver, you are obligated to take this enhancement, which is another aura of 12 inches. If your opponent targets a unit within 12 inches, increase the CP cost by 1. Okay, that's not necessarily a good ability, but it's not bad either. It's the worst one in the list, but that's not to say it's irrelevant. I already want to be within 9 inches of people so that I get bonus AP. The fact that now I'm within 12 inches, 9, and they're getting bonus AP against them, now I'm also making their stratagems that would try to counteract that in some way, whether it's smoke or armor of contempt or whatever. I'm making them cost more. This is actually not bad, but it's the worst one of the bunch. Okay, well, on top of it being the worst one of the bunch, it's also the most expensive one. It's 40 points on top of Deceiver, who got a bigger points increase than all the others. This one kind of upsets me. It's the worst enhancement. It's the most expensive enhancement. Unarguably the worst one. And I say it's the worst character, not because I actually think he's bad, but because the points alone being so much cheaper than the rest is an indicator that he's clearly not the strongest. Anyway.
Calm down. You're being mean.
So again, these are not enhancements. The reason this matters is because if you take the Transcendent Catan, it specifically calls out if you take multiple Transcendent, because they're not epic, each one of them is forced to take this pseudo enhancement and pay the additional tax. This means you could have, in theory, like 6 enhancements, because they're not actually enhancements. you get to put these enhancements on named characters because they're not actually enhancements. Little weird, little confusing, but also reasonable. Okay, so now we get to the actual detachment. I think the detachment is pretty solid. Nightbringer's an auto-include because Advance and Charge is hilariously good. I think the Deceiver is kind of a not include because while he could be good, again, the worst enhancement with the most expensive enhancement at the same time, is really hard to justify taking those points. Anyway, all the Satan are using the updated data sheets, which makes this really solid. Again, it is actively encouraging you to take Satan. By the time you build this list, my argument is you are a pseudo Knights list, right? Because half of your models, all the ones that matter, are all T11. They've got damage reduction. They've got a 10-inch move. They're monsters, and both in combat and in keyword, they're really good. Voidbringer or Void Dragon is probably also an auto include because not only is he super big and scary, but he has like double the healing effects that the others have. That's going to be a pain in the ass for your opponent to deal with. So again, I think this attachment is really good. I would argue above average. Is it so good that this is going to be the new meta?
No,
probably not. But is it good enough that it's going to start showing up at tournaments? Absolutely.
It's definitely going to shake up the meta.
Yeah. I think from the way people are talking about it, I'm going to say right now it's a little overrated. However, that's not to say that it's not good. I think after people calm down and play test it and realize that it still has weaknesses and things like that, I think it calms down and still shows up at tournaments and is still good and is really solid. If you decide to play this, I got no problem with it. I'm telling you right now, if you're bandwagoning because Reddit told you to play this, you're going to find out that it's not as good as they said it was, but it's still good. So now we go to the last detachment. And I'm telling you right now, there's so much secret tech to this. I love this detachment. It's hilariously good in arguably subtle ways. So, first ability, you're going to add 2 to the strength characteristics of weapons equipped by Destroyer Cult models. Just as weapons. That's shooting, that's melee, that's all of them at the same time. Super good. Destroyer Cult's a real restriction though. We don't have a ton of Destroyer Cult stuff. Okay, next ability. The first time that a Destroyer Cult's unit from your army makes an attack that either destroys a unit entirely, okay, fair, or brings an enemy unit below half strength. I don't even have to kill it. I just have to get it below half. All right. Then, until the end of the turn, that to me is the crazy part. In the shooting phase, I just have to bring your crappy transport to half health. That's it. And this whole thing triggers. You get to add 2 to the strength characteristics of weapons equipped by friendly Necron models, excluding Destroyer Cult, Monster, or Titanic. So, a couple of things. It says excluding Destroyer Cult because basically they're trying to clarify that you don't get +4 strength. Okay? Destroyer Cult still gets +2 all the time. Then if they trigger this thing, all your Necron stuff, other than Satan and the Tesseract Vault, basically get +2 strength to all of their weapons. Again, both shooting and melee. This is so freaking good. In most instances, your average instance, this basically says +1 to wound. Okay? In some rare instances, it doesn't apply. In some rare instances, this is actually +2 to wound. Wowie zowie. This is incredible. I love this detachment. It totally plays into the new character I cannot explain to you how, like, I've been working on a list for this detachment for a little while, and I won't say that it's like play tested or fine tuned or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are so many good options that I'm like, I can't fit all the cool stuff. What do I take? This thing is so freaking good. I'm in love with this detachment.
He gave up Space Wolves just to play Necrons because it's the detachment.
Okay, I'm still playing Space Wolves because I said I was going to. And I keep playing Space Wolves because I'm trying to buy myself time to explore all of the options in this. But you're right. After I think I've gotten to the point where I'm done with the list, I'm really glad that I let my opponent choose what I play, because otherwise I would jump to this so damn hard. I'm in love with this thing.
A monster. Chris is a monster.
All right. So for most of the other detachments, I went over a couple of enhancements, so it's only fair that I do that here as well. So the first one will hit up Command Barge or Overlord. It's going to be Command Barge. The bearer has the Destroyer Cult's keyword, so now it's guaranteed the +2 strength. Also, it means it can be targeted by a bunch of the stratagems. You're going to add 2 to the move characteristic. So for the Barge, that makes it go from 10 to 12. Pretty good. Also, you're going to add 2 to the attack characteristic of melee weapons equipped by the bear. All right, for those of you who don't know about Necron characters, in melee, they tend to be really good stat lines, but their limitation is that your average character gets like 2 attacks or 3 attacks. It's bad. But hey, I've only got 3 attacks, but it's like strength 9, AP 3, flat 2 damage apiece. Like, it's a really good stat line, but I only get like 2 or 3 attacks. Now, let me double the number of attacks with this really cheap enhancement. Hell yeah, this is good. Another example, Cryptek model only. Okay. The bearer gains the Destroyer Cult keyword, and during the declare battle formation step, the bearer can be attached to a Destroyer Cult unit. We're changing leadership options. Talk about more combo time.
Wombo combo.
If you do so, the bearer cannot be... the bearer's unit cannot contain any models without the Destroyer Cult's keyword. So basically it's saying, if you attach it to the Destroyer Cults, now you can't also bring along your Crypt Thralls or whatever else. Like, we're deciding we're a Destroyer Cult model now. You get to add 3 to the move characteristic of the bearer. So basically, because a lot of Destroyer Cult stuff is melee oriented, which makes them a lot faster. Now your Cryptek can keep up with him. Pretty good. Also, it's about the synergy, right? Do you want to just give your Scorpek destroyers who struggle to live getting across the field, but are good, you just decide to give them a 5 feel of pain now. And then also that same guy has an additional healing effect. That sounds hella good. You want to go the opposite direction? Okay, well, let's take a bunch of the little butts. The Locust Destroyers, not the heavies, the regular ones. Well, now we could give them -1 to hit all the time, not just shooting, all the time, and a reactionary move. So now I can pop out, totally just shoot the shit out of a thing, and then bounce back behind cover because we have a move characteristic of like 10. I think it's actually 8. But again, so many synergies, so many options. This detachment is awesome. You want to just basic your way through hard damage output. Third enhancement, Destroyer Cult model. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. Scorpex hitting on 2s in melee, because I decided, better yet, how about you take a character and put it with your, again, Locust Destroyers. I'll just hit on 2s all the time, because I decided, like, really good. Again, there's a bunch of sweet stratagems as well. Some of them just target Necron units in general, which is good because we want to have options. Some of them just target Destroyer Cult units specifically. I've got to call out. There's an advanced charge strat for destroyer cults? Hell yeah.
I'm talking about. I knew you were going to pick this one.
It's so good. And that doesn't even scratch the surface of the fact that you could wombo combo things here, right? Like, again, I can take these guys and I can put something to half damage. And then all of a sudden, I effectively said +1 to wound to all of my non-destroyer cult stuff. That by itself is huge. Okay, better yet, we've got this new destroyer cult model that is a Primarch, as far as I'm concerned. He's a Primarch, except for his rules are more restrictive than a normal Primarch, because like he needs a destroyer cult unit next to him to have lone op, and he buffs destroyer cult units with sustained and stuff like that. Okay, that's really good, but that seems kind of restrictive.
Yeah.
Let's take this detachment. What if his melee wasn't strength 10, it was strength 12? That by itself is pretty freaking good. Then on top of that, the detachment specifically tells me to take a bunch of destroyer cult. Not only did I buff all the destroyer cult stuff, but now the Primarch that feels like he's a little restrictive, that restriction for the most part vanishes, because the detachment already told me to take destroyer cult, so I'm already doing it. So now he's just basically a surprisingly cheap Primarch. As far as I'm concerned, what if you could take Lionel Johnson and just slap him into a Necron list? Because that's, I'm not saying that's exactly true, but it is pretty close. Like, melee monster with fights first and lone op within 3. And like, again, super good. And I'm not saying he's as good as the Lion, but I will tell you he's way cheaper than the Lion. And he ain't that far off. Anyway, as the kids say, I'm in love. I don't know what to tell you.
Bet, fam. He's lit.
Okay. Now I'm going to be the old guy. Stop that.
Oh, but the number game.
You're right. And as a numbers guy, let me tell you how +2 strength. Okay, again, even if we simplify the numbers and just say +1 to wound, I'm over here being like, okay, but this gun is strength 5, which means against all of these things, it's actually +1 to wound. But at strength 5, that actually means it's +2 to wound against these specific targets. And oh, okay, cool. Well, this thing has strength 7. 7 goes to 9. Well, okay, what if all of my guns were Melta? I mean, my melee was all Melta weapons. It's crazy. Like, again, having a blast over here with the math. Play this. All right, I think that's what I've got.
That's it.
My excitement is there, but
so
go on forever.
On that note, I think it brings us to the end of the episode. Chris, do we know what next week's episode is going to be?
Unless something crazy comes out, we do have a couple of requests for episodes. So it will be one of those, which is to say it's most likely going to be the interview episode. We already got the questions kind of figured out, so that'll be nice and easy to do. We had some other requests as far as specific topics, but I think we'll probably target the interview thing first. Yep. And again, depending on how much new stuff comes out in the next few weeks, maybe we'll keep hammering these the viewer requests, or we might go over whatever crazy stuff comes out with 500 Worlds, or maybe we'll even get some Maelstrom stuff by then.
Yep. All right. Well, on that note, I think that's it for us. So thank you all for listening, and tune in next week. Hey everybody, it's Aaron. I want to thank you again for tuning in for this episode of Gopher's Workshop with us, hanging out and listening. Remember, leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you think. And if you feel like supporting us, you can always go to Patreon in the show notes below. Thanks. Till next time.